Hello friends, welcome to Shikshatri. In this session, we shall be discussing how a circle can be divided by a transversal into various parts. While we are doing this, we shall observe few things so that we can take our learnings to a next level. So let's start. Now, as you would see that there are two circles drawn, and now what I am going to do here is, let us say in the first circle, we will be taking a transversal. So we'll draw a transversal, and before I do that, now when I have drawn a circle here, I am basically talking about a two-dimensional representation of a circle. Now when I say two dimensions, I am basically referring to x-axis and y-axis, or x-axis and z-axis, or y-axis and z-axis. So we are referring to two dimensions. So now we know that what is a transversal. If you don't know it, let me tell you. Now if I say that this line, why do I call it as a line? Because it extends from one point to the other point such that let's understand that the length of this line is infinite, which is why it is represented by arrows at its ends. That means it cannot be measured. Now this line becomes a transversal because it cuts the circle into at least 2 points. Here it is exactly 2 points. Now when I draw only one transversal, so let's say I'll put it here, how many transversals am I drawing, and how many divisions or cuts do we have? So let's say divisions. So now if I would not have drawn any transversal, let's refer to the second circle. If I do not draw any transversal, let's say 0 transversals, how many divisions would I have? I'll have no division, or I'll say I'll have only one part. So division here represents either I'm talking about a division, or let's say I'm talking about parts. It will be better if I talk about parts so that for further references there is no confusion which is given rise to. So let's say parts. Okay. Now in the same diagram, if I draw one more transversal which intersects the other transversal. So how many transversals? Okay, now first let me take, in case if I would have drawn one transversal, how many parts would have I got? The circle would have been divided into 2 parts. So division is the verb and parts is the consequence of it. Okay, now if I draw 2 transversals, now 2 transversals can be drawn in 2 ways. One is I draw 2 transversals which are parallel to each other. So please assume that I am drawing 2 transversals which are parallel to each other in this case, and in the other case I am drawing 2 transversals which are intersecting with each other, which are not parallel to each other. So you would see that in one case I have 3 parts, and in the other case I have 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Majority of the times we would be talking about the maximum number of parts in which a circle can be cut by a transversal. So henceforth, when I am doing a discussion with you, I will not be talking about the minimum number of parts in which a circle can be cut into. I'll be basically referring to the maximum number of parts in which a circle would be cut into. Right? Okay. Now, when I take this discussion forward, as we discussed earlier also, that while we are talking about the division in a circle, we will keep on taking it to a next level. And for the sake of discussion here, as discussed earlier, we will be talking about the maximum number of divisions or parts as a consequent to the drawing of the transversals. Okay. Now, if I would draw 3 transversals, but before I do that, let me see when I had drawn 2 transversals, how many points of intersection did I have? We had 1 point of intersection. Now, if I draw another transversal here, such that it intersects with the other 2 transversals, now you will see that every transversal that I have drawn, on every transversal, you are having 2 different points of intersection with the other transversal. Does that make sense? It does. Okay, now let us count the number of parts here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when we had taken 3 transversals such that every transversal has 2 distinct point of intersections with the other, in that case we had 7. Now if I draw 4 transversals and the objective is the same, what is the objective? The objective is to have the maximum number of intersections. And now we have a hint also here, and just for the sake of discussion here every transversal had 2 points of intersections. Here let us say every transversal had 1 point of intersection. Here, since we had taken 1 transversal, so we would have had no point of intersection. And since when I had not taken any transversal, then also we will talk about no point of intersection. IN here refers to the number of intersection points that one transversal would have with the other in order to have the maximum number of parts in which a circle can be divided by those transversal or consequent to the intersection of the transversals. So now we get a hint here. But before I do that, let me just draw this once again for the sake of drawing so that you are able to understand this in a better manner. Okay, so by now we have a fair enough idea of how to take it to a next level. What is the next level? Now if somebody asks me a question, I am supposed to draw 4 transversals onto a circle which is a 2-dimensional representation. What is the maximum number of parts in which a circle can be divided into? Okay. So this is something that we have already done earlier. The only thing now that we need to ensure is the third transversal that we would be drawing has to be drawn in such a way that it should intersect with the other transversals at 3 distinct points. Okay, so let me say that I want to draw a transversal from here, this side, such that there are 3 points of intersections which are given rise to on the remaining 3 transversals. Let me count now. So now here I have a point of intersection which is lying outside the circle. So this will not give me the maximum number of points. Let us see that how can we avoid this, or let us see how to draw this. Okay. Now, if I take a third transversal here, let us say I want to draw it from this side. And I want to draw it in such a manner so that it should intersect with every other transversal. So the only glitch here is I will have to see that it should intersect. I should make it at an angle so that it intersects with all other transversal, and the intersection points should lie inside, not outside. Okay, so let me take a transversal here. It intersects with this, it intersects with this, it intersects with this, and it goes forward. Please understand that these are four different transversals that I have drawn. Since this is a freehand drawing, please bear with me. But the point that I am trying to make here is that is all that you need to understand. So let us see the total number of divisions. 1, 2, 3, let's say this is the fourth one, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, did we count it correctly? Let us check it once again. 1, 2, 3. Now while we were counting, we had missed 1. So that makes the counting complete. And why was I so sure that the answer here should be 11? I mean, I should be very sure that the answer here should be an 11. And why was I very sure of that the answer here? Now the answer here refers to the maximum number of parts that these intersections would give rise to would be 11, is seen from a very small observation that you do. And in all my sessions you would have seen that we are more interested in observing out of every task or activity that we are doing, so that your learning is taken to a next level. And this observation requires thinking, reasoning and refinement. So now when I talk about one part, 1 comes to 2 only when I add another 1 to it. Next, when I add 2 to a 2, I get 4. 4 plus 3 gives me a 7. And 7 plus 4 should give me an 11. So from here I get a hint that the next addition which should take place here is 5. So without even drawing the number of transversals, now I can observe and I can find it out, which takes this session to its final stage, which is formulating out of this discussion. So if I take the number of transversals as T, and the maximum number of parts that would be given rise to from T here would be, what is the sum for first n natural numbers is T into T plus 1 divided by 2. Now, so let me put the value of T as 0 in the very first case. So when I take T as 0, it should give me how much? So 0 into 1 divided by 2 gives me 1 by 2. So that doesn't make any sense because we are drawing the transversals here. So let me take the value of T as 1. And because we are referring T as a natural number, we are not referring T as a whole number. Right, if we are referring T as a whole number, in that case we will make it as a T plus 1 into a T plus 2. Okay, so now 1 into 2 divided by 2 gives me how much? 1. But here we were getting the answer as 2, so we need to add another 1 to this. So now when we take the value of T as 2, it becomes 2 into 3 by 2. Now 2 into 3 by 2 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, so this answer is correct. So was this. Now when we take the value of T as 3, it is 3 into 4 divided by 2, which is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. Synonymously, you will get it as 11, 16, etc. Now, the final learning out of this session is, if I do not draw a circle and if I want to see that on a two-dimensional piece of paper, if I remove this circle, and let us say I'm removing the circle and I'm drawing it here on this two-dimensional piece of paper, if I'm taking 3 transversals and if I draw 3 transversals, what is the maximum number of intersection points that I would get out of this exercise? Intersection points, in any case I'll get 3 intersection points, but on every transversal I will have 2 intersection points that we had already discussed. But before I do that, let me just complete this as well. So on T transversals, how many intersection points would you have on every transversal is T minus 1. So coming back, finally, so how many, now if I take a two-dimensional paper and I have taken 3 transversals, and on three transversals are being intersected in such a way such that every transversal has 2 points of intersection each. In that case, what are the sections that are given rise to? What are the various parts? We are not talking about the enclosed areas only, we are talking about the unenclosed areas. For example, this is the first unenclosed area, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. There are 6 unenclosed areas, and the seventh is an enclosed area. So when we are taking the discussion to the next level, we can talk about the enclosed areas also, or not the enclosed areas. Analogously, we could have removed the circle here also in this case, and we could have seen how many enclosed and unenclosed areas are given rise to when there are 4 transversals intersected in such a way that every transversal has 3 intersection points on each of them. I hope this session helps you and you are able to take your learning to the next level.